How much of the world have you really seen? From a winged man flying the skies and landing on a tree branch, to an alien creature approaching a house, and unseen ghosts announcing their presence in a room. Nowhere, and definitely no one, is safe from these mysterious entities. Join us as we explore the most disturbing videos humans have ever caught on camera. Number 1. Arizona Highway Ghost. In 2023, a truck driver in Arizona managed to capture a mysterious ghost-like figure on his dash cam. The man, identified as William Church, was driving through a popular road in the early hours of the day when an eerie image appeared in the camera's view. The image showed a faint, almost transparent entity that's definitely not a human.
All right, take a look at this one. A truck driver in Arizona says that there were no cars in sight when his dashboard camera captured this.
If it were, the shadowy nature suggests that forces beyond human understanding are at play. Coincidentally, the incident occurred on Arizona State Route 87, which has a reputation for being one of the most dangerous roads in the state. Down the years, the route has been at the center of car crashes and mysterious deaths. Could people be driving carelessly on the road, or is something more sinister going on behind the scenes? Number 2. Gettysburg Ghost. In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, sits a battlefield that hosted one of the bloodiest battles of the American Civil War. The fight, which lasted for 3 days, led to tragic and devastating circumstances for over 50,000 soldiers. The souls of some of those who lost their lives are believed to be roaming the area, and today, the location is home to one of the highest numbers of ghost sightings in a single place. Gettysburg is so notorious for paranormal activity that some ghosts, like Gideon and Rachel, are said to make repeated appearances. On one such occasion of ghost sightings in Gettysburg, a New Jersey man, Greg Euling, and his family were on a trip when they captured clear evidence of ghosts. In their footage, you could see 2 transparent entities running towards and away from the cannons by the roadside. Perhaps the ghosts of the fallen soldiers are truly still running around in Gettysburg. But what happens when an unidentifiable creature comes running towards you? Number 3. Mysterious running creature. Millions of species inhabit our world, and it's no surprise to find a few strange-looking ones from time to time. But when we do, we tend to have an idea of which family they belong to, and scientists have been helpful in narrowing down the names. However, the case you're watching now is completely different. A group of teenagers was outside having fun when they encountered a sight that would haunt them for a long time. They filmed a creature resembling a large rodent as it scurried toward them along the walkway. Not only does this creature look nothing like other animals, but its running pattern looks suspicious. The mysterious creature was also hell-bent on chasing the teenagers. Thankfully, they kept their distance and quickly retreated when it approached. Many have tried to guess the animal, and others think it's a human wearing a costume. Some have also guessed it's a being from another dimension. No one knows for sure, but at least we can agree we don't want it to come too close. Number 4. Alien creature on ring cam. A man has shared the bizarre image he recovered from his ring cam. It was supposed to be another normal night for him. He planned to go to bed with his family, wake up the next day without any adventure, and move on with life. But something felt off. First, it was the dogs in the neighborhood. They kept barking throughout the night. It was unusual, almost as if they felt or saw something extraordinary and wanted it to go away. Many heard the noise, but they didn't think much of it. Not this man. He said he kept turning on his bed, especially when the motion alert came on. For him, it felt closer, like whatever had the dogs on edge wasn't far away. Eventually, he gave in and checked his phone. That's when he saw it. The footage showed a figure standing just within view, thin, oddly shaped, definitely not human, and unlike any known animal. For a few long moments, the figure remained there, as if observing before suddenly shifting out of frame. By morning, there were no footprints, nothing to explain what the creature was or where it had come from, just a single clip that no one who saw it would forget. Number 5. Haunted School Hallway. In October 2017, the Deer Park Christian Brothers School in Cork, Ireland, posted a mysterious video that had gathered many millions of views. The video shows what appears to be a ghost announcing its arrival in a school hallway. The first few seconds showed something flashing down the hallway, even though it was empty. Then, a locker steals the show, bouncing off the wall several times as it's rocked by an unseen force. It stopped just as another locker suddenly flipped open, scattering the objects inside onto the floor. And that was before a wet floor sign made its way across the room. One of these could easily pass as a trick, but the combination in a single event just makes you want to take another look. It has since been known as the Deer Park School Poltergeist, providing evidence that ghosts can show up in the least expected places. Since its online posting, the video has generated a wide range of reactions from around the world. From ghost enthusiasts sharing the video as proof of their sanity, to armchair detectives trying to pinpoint human shadows and fishing lines pulling the flying objects. But what do you think? Is this another strange occurrence we were lucky to have on tape? Or is it just a clever, carefully executed hoax by an institution in search of a viral moment? Number 6. The Crying Woman? Up next is the footage from an unidentified security camera. It started with the loud and consistent barking of dogs in the night. The next morning, when the owners checked the clips, they saw that the dogs were visibly scared, and thankfully, the video captured what put them in that state. From a distance, a mysterious entity floated in the dark, some meters from the dogs. No one can say exactly what it was, but it didn't look human. Locals say it's La Llorona, the crying woman. It's the spirit of a woman, believed to come out at night in search of her child. This surveillance footage did not capture the cries, probably because it wasn't close enough for the mics to pick them up. However, the slightly bright entity amidst sheer darkness, the floating movement, and the dog's visible dread paint a disturbing scene. One that's rekindling the belief in entities beyond our physical world. Do you believe this was La Llorona? Number 7. Swimming alien. But sometimes, these mysterious beings do not appear on land. Some of them have been observed within water bodies, such as this alien-like figure discovered by individuals on a swimming trip in the nearby river. They managed to film a shiny and brightly colored figure as it peeked close to the surface. The camera captured a horrifying image of the entity, which didn't seem shy or eager to return to the water. Instead, it was slightly inquisitive. Just as the individuals got closer to get a better focus on the being, it also wanted to take another look at the humans filming it. The source of the clip has been kept secret, just as experts have refused to say what this being is or was. But we suppose they'll visit the area for further study, and knowing humans, it just might not be a good idea to be as trusting as it was in this video. Number 8. Cave jinns. Speaking of trust, not every mysterious encounter ends as calmly as the one in the river. In some parts of the world, especially across the Middle East and North Africa, explorers have reported far more unsettling experiences deep within caves. These beings, often described as existing alongside humans but in a different realm, are said to inhabit dark, isolated environments like caves and abandoned structures. Believers have been sharing stories of strange whispers echoing through narrow tunnels, sudden gusts of wind with no clear source, and fleeting, shadowy figures that vanish the moment they're noticed. One particular clip shows a group venturing into a cave system, determined to prove that jinns exist. A sound drew them to an area covered with stones. As they remove the stones one by one, something appears to move behind the objects, a dreadful creature caught on tape before it disappears. The video was uploaded on YouTube with the caption, "Jinn." But let's be real, no one could say for sure. Still, it's proof that some beings live in the dark, never fully revealing themselves. Number 9. Mexican headless horseman. You may have heard of the headless horseman from North America or Europe. It seems the mythical horseman may have somehow ridden his way to Mexico. That's because stories of a headless rider have been making the rounds in the country for a while, and now there's a clip to back it up. A strange sight was caught on security footage in the middle of the night in Tequala, Mexico. The clip, reportedly captured outside a quiet rural property, shows a horse galloping across the frame. At first glance, nothing seems too unusual, but then a more careful look would reveal a rider with no head or even a proper human body. Some of the locals also reported hearing the sound of hooves approaching. They didn't know what it was until those with CCTV started checking their footage. The appearance reportedly occurred in the early hours of the morning, a time often linked to paranormal activity. Some viewers argue it could be an elaborate hoax or a trick of shadows and camera distortion. But one thing is certain, Whatever was captured that night didn't behave like anything you'd expect to see on an ordinary security feed. Number 10. Encounter with a beast. Next, we move to a park somewhere in the United States. As part of their daily routine of keeping the place in proper shape, a park warden goes around checking for any abnormal activities. This was a route they had used countless times, but on this occasion, something or someone joins the walk without an invitation. This encounter stands out particularly because of the warden's closeness to the beast without noticing anything. A moment after he passed by the trees, the still camera picked up movement off the trail. From the tree line, a large figure begins to emerge. Its shape is unclear, partially hidden by shadows, but it's big, far too big to be any ordinary animal in the area. It should have been undetectable under the dim forest light, but the shiny eyes gave it away. However, there's more. Just as the figure begins to move between trees, another set of shiny eyes emerges, connected to the beast. You could almost mistake it for a creature with 4 eyes, but another careful look shows that there are 2 figures in the dark. They still appear connected in some way, perhaps one carrying the other. The important question is, what creature is it, and how many of them are hiding in the shadows? Will they continue to observe the wardens, or do they have a sinister plan to attack someday? Number 11. Massive forest beast. But that strange sighting is not an isolated one. A trucker's dashcam captured similar horrifying footage while traveling through the forest. Look closely at the trees. It's not immediately clear, but lying between the thick forest was a pitch-black entity, observing the world around. Thanks to the truck's headlights, we can see a creature that experts haven't been able to identify. To be fair, they don't necessarily have much to work with. It's the perfect positioning for the creature to camouflage itself in the shadows. We'll have to make do with suggestions, many of which have been put forward since the sighting. From more earthly mentions like bear and baby bear on a tree, to disturbing suggestions like Bigfoot, we may never really know. Number 12. Staring well ghost. In May 29, 2025, a YouTuber named Rochelle G uploaded a video of herself exploring an old homestead when her viewers noticed a pair of frightening eyes staring back at the camera. Rochelle was with another woman who was narrating the history of the place to her and her followers. The house had an old, tiny well that was sealed off, and the woman explained that it had been sealed off over 100 years ago. The chilling and unfortunate reason was that a girl had lost her life inside the well. Hence, it was covered up with a headstone and surrounded by walls. As Rochelle and her narrator continued exploring, they decided to go to the well to see what was there. So, they shifted the headstone and took a peek into the well. The camera picked up a face staring from within the well. The 2 glowing eyes lit up against the camera's flashlight, and the viewers were quick to point out the paranormal nature of their discovery. They believed the eyes belonged to a spirit that is said to roam the area. Some dismissed it as the lights playing tricks, but others swore that Rochelle was staring at the ghost of the girl. A careful look at the footage suggests it could be anything. We would love to know what you think it is. Let us know in the comments. Number 13. Intense poltergeist activity. Another YouTuber, Mellow Bird, provided what many consider one of the most violent ghost activity videos on the internet. What makes it even more disturbing is that it wasn't the first time. During a previous encounter, the force in his home had already shown signs of aggression, even tossing his camera mid-recording. Determined to capture clearer evidence, he decided to fasten the camera securely to the wall before trying again. That decision would prove crucial because this time, whatever was in his home didn't hold back. The footage begins quietly, with the kitchen sitting still. Without warning, objects started flying around. Plates crashed violently onto the floor, cupboard doors flung open, and the things inside rattled into the air. Drawers slide open on their own, utensils scatter, and items that should require human strength are moved effortlessly. Within a minute, the entire room erupts into chaos. While a few suggested the video was a hoax, the randomness and the fact that nothing inside the kitchen was spared suggest otherwise. It points to an angry ghost that is trying to draw attention to its presence. And oh boy, did we notice it. Number 14. Poltergeist terrifies dogs. Speaking of ghosts making their presence known, here's another entry from YouTube user kshizzle27. He also explained that he'd experienced strange episodes in his home before deciding to set up a camera to capture what was happening. His attic door had been mysteriously opened sometimes when he got back from work, so he invested in a surveillance system and placed it in the central room. The footage captured his two dogs playing when a noise came up in the background. He called it radio interference, and it was accompanied by a mysterious flying object. But things were about to get intense. About 10 minutes after the radio interference, the attic door started acting up. It opened and closed by itself, while the same radio interference we heard earlier returned. Some objects in the room move suddenly, and the dogs are visibly shaken by what they witnessed. You could tell that they sensed something unusual in the room. What kind of entity might this be, and what does it want? These questions and more remain unanswered to this day. Number 15. Evidence of mermaid existence? Let's go back now to the water bodies, where a deep-sea diver captured what looked like a mermaid. It looked like any other dive with calm waters, steady breathing, and the quiet vastness of the ocean stretching in every direction. Visibility is decent, and nothing seems out of place. Numerous fish swam by. Then, the diver turned, and there it was. A humanoid figure gliding through the water above with unnatural smoothness. The lower half had what looked like a large fish's tail. It had arms like a human, but the rest of its upper body wasn't visible enough. The video was brief, and the sighting was even more so. The diver hesitated for a while, unsure of what to do. And that might just be the wise move, since no one can tell what the mermaid's reaction might be. For years, we've believed that these creatures were just fiction or figments of people's imaginations. So, is this the confirmation we need, or are we looking at an entirely different being? Number 16. Winged human? Finally, here's a disturbing clip from Nicaragua showing what appears to be a winged man flying through the skies. The source of the clip is unknown. In it, a creature resembling a tiny human is seen perched on a tree branch. However, a closer look shows that the creature may have extra hands and legs as well as wings. It made a brief stop on the tree branch before flying away, never to be seen again. The clip was filmed from inside a car, so the quality is questionable, making it difficult to identify the creature. However, we do have to admit that we do not know any creature that looks like this. Humans certainly do not have wings, and the shape bears no resemblance to a bird. In fact, you can argue that this creature shouldn't be able to fly because of its body shape. That only leads to one conclusion, that this is a mysterious creature that may not be natural to our world. We can live our lives pretending to be the only ones in this world, but numerous pieces of evidence staring us in the face have shown that that cannot be the case. Is there a case we forgot to add to the list? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next big video that exposes hidden aspects of our world.